Hello everybody, this is Mrs. Anderson. This is a video I'm making for my students about how to use the layers, which I'm going to show you where they are right now, the layers on our tayasui sketches. So a couple things that I've already done. One is that I have gone and I have saved photos to my photo library during a sort of web quest that I did on the theme, which is sort of our mood or our situation, our environment during this quarantine. And then I've just gotten out a blank document here. I'm going to use my little undo button here to get rid of those things. So we've got a blank slate. And now I'm going to show you how to use those layers. So the main thing is when I go up to these 3 layered pieces of paper and I select them, it's going to show me this menu on the side. I want to make sure that I am selecting my bottom layer. These are sort of in order, right? We can't get any more because you need Pro. So I have these 2 to work with. I want to work on my bottom layer first. That's going to be considered our base or our background. So you can tell that I select it because it's highlighted there in blue on the left-hand side. Once I have that, then I can go ahead and go up to my 3 dots up here. You can see them right here. And I'm going to select that. You can see the arrow with the box coming down. That means I'm going to download something. I'm going to grab one of those photos that I have selected. I actually am, because I'm doing a lot of artwork, I'm actually using this photo that I took of one of the students working on their identity project. But I love how the colored pencils look. So I'm going to use that as my background. Once I have it the way that I want it, I hit the check mark at the bottom here. And now I can actually draw on top of this picture. Let me do this for you. So if I wanted to, make a couple boxes, I could draw and color in some things there. You can kind of test things out here right on top of my image. You could test out some of the tools. Right now it's working kind of additive, so you can see that every time I put in a new layer, it gets darker and darker. You can change that by hitting these little circles here and make your pen opaque as well. There's lots of fun things on here for you to play with, and go ahead and do that. But for our assignment, which is to create a digital collage, I need to show you how to use these layers more. So I'm going back up to the right-hand corner, the 3 little sheets of paper, and I am going to lock this bottom layer. Now I'm going to select the middle layer. Oops, I locked it. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to show you why. So if I now go ahead and put in another image that I have chosen, let's see, if we go to my recents, let's choose this house in a bubble. I went on Creative Commons, which is a great place to get images that you don't have to worry about copyright. And, but I don't like this it looks like I just put a picture on top of a picture. So if I go to my menu here, my menu, there we go, my tools, I can select the eraser. And I can determine the size of the eraser by this bar on the right-hand side that I'm controlling. And since I have a lot to erase, it's moving because I didn't hit that check mark, sorry. Check mark at the bottom, selects it. And now it's going to stay in place, and I can use my eraser tool, but you can see that it's not erasing that background layer. And that's going to be what helps us build a digital collage. So because I'm working with trying to get this video not be terribly long for you, I'm going to do a quick job of course, I would want you to take your time and kind of come in closer with this when you do your project. I'm going to show you really quick. If I change the size of my eraser, then that allows me to come in closer without carving off too much of the image. Another way I can do this is if I expand it and make it bigger, then I can get in nice and tight on the image and erase really close. A nice cropping is what makes a digital image look really cool, especially once we keep adding more and more images. Okay, so let's say that one's done. And what if I wanted to put another image on top of this? If I were to grab one, I'll show you what would happen if I overlap. It would not be good because it's going to erase. Let's say I wanted to use these handprints and I wanted to put them over the other one. If I start erasing around on this image, it's going to also erase my house. Oh, I do not want that because I just spent all that time working on getting that house done. So here's what you can do. This is sort of the workaround since we don't have the pro version. I can't add another layer. But if I go to my layer here and I select the gear, see how I'm selecting the gear? This layer option menu comes up. I am going to lock this layer, lock the transparency, and then I am going to duplicate it. I'm going to select now that very top layer, and this time when I add in that same photo of the hands, right? That's the one I was going to add. And maybe this time I want to make it nice and big. And this time when I erase, it keeps that house there because it's in the layer below. So have fun, play around with this. Your assignment is 2 parts. 1, create a digital collage that is of images that remind you of your current mood or represent your environment right now. That's step 1. Step 2 is to get feedback from somebody. So you're going to take this picture and you're going to go up to them. I could even maybe save it as an image up here. You can see I can save the image. Then I can also bring it back and work on it even further after I've gotten the feedback. That way I don't lose anything. But I'm going to go to somebody and I'm going to say some specific things. Like, I've been working on this collage and I'm working on filling space and creating images to represent our life right now. What do you think I'm missing? Or can you take a look at it and tell me what you think? What sort of thing does it communicate to you? And then they're going to give you feedback, and then you're going to come back and make some changes. So let's say that maybe somebody would look at this and say, well, you've only got a couple images. I'd add more. Then I could go ahead and I would add more images into this collage and make it a little bit more interesting. The other thing that I can do is really have some fun with patterns. You know, I could come in and do some drawings right on top of my images. You could do lines and patterns just to kind of create some different visual interest. Maybe I'm going to just repeat some lines and pattern to kind of show you what you can do. I really like to do sort of dots and things like that that kind of go around images. So I would end up doing a lot of that. I can even write in my own text. So if you go to this menu button here, I could write text. Like one of the things I'm feeling these days is I really miss my students. And I don't feel like we got enough time together in the art room. So maybe that is something that I want to add in there and have that be represented on my collage. Okay, I think that's it. Have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I can't get rid of that menu here. Anyways, have fun with it. And don't forget to save your work. So when I am ready, I come back to this upload button. I'm going to save the image to my folder, and then this is really bugging me. I'm so sorry. I can't get my menu off. All right, anyways, save it, and then I'm going to upload that to the Google Classroom. If you are a paper packet student, then you can email me or attach it to our week 6 Google Classroom assignment. You could also print it out and attach it to the paper packet, but that would be a lot of ink. All right. Thank you guys so much. Email me if you have questions, and have fun.